We're ready to go. It didn't turn, now it turned red. We're ready to go.
You're live.
All right, we are on Tuesday, and it's Licata Live with Jeff Zalinsky. Jeff with Pestnow, and he's gonna sort of a community or a service announcement, or about why we should be concerned about pests and how to take care of it and remediate it, and stay on top of it. But before we go too far, Jasmine told me I had to do this and want to do this. So we have Fred Nats tickets. She sent me to do something. Say it's Nats Now or Fred Nats Now. You post
Fred Nats Now.
Fred Nats Now. Last week's winner was Amy Pfeiffer. So she's getting 2 tickets to the Fred Nats. If you haven't been to a Fred Nats game, it's loads of fun. Actually, my wife and I and my granddaughter were there last night for the game. They played the Lynchburg Hillcats, and I guess the Hillcats are coming back next weekend. It's July 10th. Amy, you won 2 tickets. Congratulations. They're great seats. Get a hot dog, enjoy the game and all that. And then the new raffle or the new contest is for the June 28th game. I don't know who's playing, but I know the Nats are playing.
There you go.
Have you been to a Nats game, Jeff?
Many Nats games. I'm a big baseball fan. It's an opportunity where you can sit back and relax.
Sit back and relax. So Jeff is an owner of Pestnow. Pestnow, I have a speech impediment today. Probably drank too much at yesterday's game. Actually, all I had was Coca-Cola. So, wanted to talk a little bit about, well, first of all, it's in the contract. So when there's, in any Virginia real estate contract, there's a provision about a pest inspection. And it has to happen. And it's who's going to pay for it. And it's in the contract. Is it the buyer or is it the seller? But what does it cost to do a general pest inspection?
So
I know what it costs, but I want him to say it.
what will happen is we'll get a call from the admin, the realtor, and they are required to do what they call a WDI report. That WDI stands for wood destroying insect. Everybody thinks of it as a termite inspection. It's actually a variety of different wood destroying insects that are common in this area. That cost is $39. So for that,
It's really nominal when you think of inspections. You're wondering what you're going to pay for, it's nominal. But to get a loan, this has to happen.
it does, whether it be a conventional loan, VA, FHA loan. There are some different requirements depending on the type of loan, but it is if there's a loan to be had, it is required.
Because they don't want to lend. The lender doesn't want to give money on a product or a home that's about ready to fall over, right? That's compromised.
Absolutely correct, and that's why they do it. And the reason we do it for $39 is our whole mantra with our business is building relationships with people like John, building relationships with that new home buyer, and being there as a resource for them. So that's why we do it for $39.
And then once it's inspected, shouldn't we maintain it? It's like any other thing.
You're absolutely correct. So the way we help you maintain that is with every inspection we do, we offer a yearly renewable warranty. Termites are prevalent in the area. Carpenter ants, carpenter bees, some of the other insects that we're looking for, and insects in general, but we recommend at least 1 inspection a year. And our warranty is good for 2 things. As many inspections a year as they'd like. So if they see something peculiar, utilize us as the resource we can be. And the second thing it's good for, if termites do pop up while you are under warranty, I'm going to go ahead and treat that at absolutely no charge. Labor and materials are both included.
So what's a normal treatment? Tell us a little bit about the treatment.
Absolutely. There's going to be some variables. The standard treatment is typically a liquid injection into the soil. And what it is, it's
Why in the soil? Why not into the house?
That's a great question.
I only ask good questions.
The termites, they don't live in your house. Where they live is they live in the soil, and they use your home as a food source, cellulose, the wood. So we need to get a product in their pathways. Termites don't even realize it's there. It's not like the old school products where it just repelled all the termites to your neighbor's house. It's not the way it works anymore. Now it's kind of a stealth product. They don't even realize it's there. They pass through it. we utilize that social behavior against termites. Termites themselves don't really have eyes. They're cryptic. They live in the ground. They've adapted to that. So they clean each other. They feed each other. So we utilize that social behavior against them in their pathway. And again, that's always going to be in the soil.
So are you just concerned about should I be just concerned about termites, or are there other things I should be concerned about in terms of maintenance?
Outstanding. You know, I'm going to be honest, he's not writing these questions down, and these are fantastic questions. Again, termites, probably one of the larger wood destroyers out there, especially in this area. But there are other insects. You are going to have things that might form jeopardy to you and your family. You've got a daughter, a son, husband, wife, somebody that might be allergic to bees. So bees, wasps, and hornets are going to be a concern to you.
I'm allergic.
There you
I'm
go.
allergic.
So those are going to be some things that you're going to want to be aware of, and whether you address it yourself or have a resource like us out there to come in and address those issues. So.
But you know, aren't some of these things good? Aren't some of these bugs good?
You are absolutely correct. One of our policies we created many years ago. Pesticides come in 3 levels of toxicity. Now there's caution, warning, and danger. Danger being a pretty harsh product. We've made that decision to only use for general pest control the caution label products. We don't spray any flowering plants. Let's face it, our pollinators are a necessity, and we've got to keep them around. So we don't spray flowering plants. Again, pest control is meant to control pests. It's not there to eliminate pests. It is pest control, not pest elimination.
So we need to do it to get the loan. You know, and people worry about inspections. Is this something that is it a worry, or is it just something you have to do to get to the next level?
Well, it starts out with it is something you have to do, but even more importantly than that, it is a necessity. Let's face it, termites are prevalent in the area, and you would like to have that resource. Again, last thing you want to buy, you pay X amount of dollars for your home, and you move in, and you know, I'm going to change out that refrigerator. I want to redo this or that bathroom. You have a set budget that you want to spend on your home. Last thing you want to do is realize I've got to replace every floor joist in that crawl space or in my basement, or I've got to replace entire walls because
Creates a structural issue.
Absolutely.
And when you identify the problem and you remediate the problem, if there's damage, what happens next?
Well,
what do you do?
Our report, it's obviously if we visibly can see damage, we are going to put that on a report. And what the report states, if that damage section is checked, have a licensed contractor go out, let him assess and have him do what he does best. Again, our expertise is identifying, treating. Our expertise is not, is this a structural issue or is this not a structural issue? It might be an easy fix, but again, utilize those resources that I'm sure John knows or your realtors know out there to do their part. Again, our part, identify and treat, and then the part of a contractor is to identify how much damage and the level of damage there is.
So the next thing that we see out in the woods, and we'll see more wood houses out here.
Yes.
But what about these carpenter bees?
Yes. So carpenter bees, quickly for someone like John, it is a non-stinging bee. So, but they are a nuisance. They're very protective. And
like big giant Volkswagen Beetles running.
They do. They look a lot like a bumblebee.
Yeah.
Bumblebees are typically in the ground. Carpenter bees are in your structures. They'll burrow a hole, and I've gotten that argument with clients. They say somebody drilled a hole. Looks like somebody took a 1-inch drill bit and drilled it directly in the hole. The problem is they go in there, they will take a 90-degree angle, go with the grain of the wood, and they start forming their nests in there, their larvae in there. Other things feed on them. Your woodpeckers will feed on them, and that's where your damage can really come into effect.
So how do you get rid of them?
That's again a good question. It's bees breathe through what they call spiracles, kind of fish gills, kind of gills in their body, holes in their body, and that's how they breathe. Though our process is we put a dust in each and every one of those holes. As the bees go in there, they will clog those spiracles and again eliminate those bees. Then as the larva hatches and come out, it will start to eliminate those. All pest control is about breaking hatching cycles, and that's the process.
So
Diligence.
give us an idea of your cost structure and your timing when you're under contract to keep a house in shape. Tell us a little bit about that process. What happens?
Sure. So again, we're going to do that within 30 days of settlement. And again, that's why they have good people here and a nice team here at Licata Group. They will order that termite inspection, obviously through your blessings as the buyer or the seller, depending on whose responsibility it is. Typically, it's the seller's responsibility, but again, that can certainly change. It's all according to the contract. We typically like to get out there within that 30-day window. We'll go out. If we do find an issue, at that point, we will recommend treatment for the property. The biggest question we get is, well, is it active? Again, it's hard to tell. So we typically err on the side of caution, and buyers obviously appreciate that. Sometimes not so much the sellers, but again, it's the same respect we want to pay to both sides. That cost might be anywhere from $500 to $800. Also depends on whether they are on a well, whether they have again, out here in beautiful lake country, depends if there's a water structure or water source right there. So it may depend on the type of treatment. We've had treatments that have cost thousands of dollars, but again, we always give a discount, especially to people like the Licata Group, for those treatments when it deals with settlement. And then at that point, I like to go back out about 90 days later. It's about how long it can take to eliminate a colony, re-inspect what's been done. Let's make sure what we're doing is working. Rather find out in 90 days than when your warranty's getting ready to renew in a year. And if anything more needs to be done, that's at my expense, nobody else's.
So if someone, they're not even in the middle of a transaction right now, but they want to check or they want to get a service.
Yes.
How do they reach you?
Well, they can call our number. Now I have a couple of offices here in Central Virginia. I've got one in the Ruther Glen area. I've also got one in the Richmond area. The best number is our 804-589-1009. Ask for an inspection. Explain to our girls in the office exactly what it is you're looking for. If it is not for settlement purposes, I'm not going to charge you to come out. Take a look around. See if there are any immediate needs, or possibly even give you a to-do list. Some things that you as a homeowner can do to help. Again, you'll never protect your house 100%. But there are some things a homeowner can do to help protect that house.
So what are some of the things that homeowners should look for, and some of the things that they should be doing on their own?
That's a great
Like,
question.
where do they mulch? What are the just some of the things that create problems and what?
Yes, it's, termites, again, we can't see the colonies of termites because they are beneath the ground. But things that you can do as a homeowner: loose debris, wood, piles of wood, firewood stacked next to your home. Always recommend just keep those out of there. Get them away from your house. And how far do you keep them away? 10 feet, 15 feet? It's always a good idea. The other things you can do to keep an eye out for termites is in the springtime, triggered by moisture and warmth, termites will release what they call swarmers. Again, look like little winged ants. And keep an eye out for things. Again, if you see anything that's not familiar to your home, wood deterioration, call a resource out there. Again, and that's us as a resource.
I'm a mulch. I love mulch.
Yep.
Love the way it smells. Love the way it looks. Should I be putting mulch right up next to my house?
You'll get 6 answers one way, 6 answers the other way.
What's your answer?
I do what you feel comfortable with. Again, utilizing resources out there to do those inspections. Sure, mulch can, because it's a wood product, it can certainly attract termites, and termites are there and they might come up to feed on it. What's your other option though? No mulch looks terrible. I'll be honest, I mulch away at my house. So here's what I do.
What do you mean mulch away at your house?
I put mulch right up on the side, right up to the siding. Now you do want to leave a gap if you've got siding. Try to leave a little gap. Don't put it right up to the siding so you can see the signs of termites working their way up your foundation. But what I do to help prevent termites is I actually treat my house once every 5 to 7 years. I own a pest control company, so sure, it's a $100 bill under my doormat. I don't ever want to have termites. I've never had them. So I do a preventative treatment. But Again, your other option, stones, it's not a solve-all not to have termites. So do what you're comfortable with. Again, I mulch away. I love the look of it. It's an easy replacement every year. So if that's what you're comfortable with, mulch away.
Well, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this was a good opportunity for you to let some people know about your service and about your
Absolutely.
company. They do great work. They do great work. We wouldn't recommend them otherwise. So thanks for Licata Live, and thank you for coming in today.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Always great to come up and see these guys and girls. They're a fantastic partnership, and as we talked about, it's all about having the resources out there and knowing who to reach out to.
All right, let's see if I can turn this off. You know, technically,
All right.
not my strength. Never saw that happen before.